What is up, everybody? This is Lyle, No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. I am coming at you from just outside the Millennium Building at the Prime Inc. Springfield Terminal. Just got everything handled with the driver of my new truck, so he is about ready to go. I think he's just handling a few more things and he's going to be ready to get out. Then Myra's truck is in the body shop right now, so they said they're going to be done with that at 5 p.m. Then tomorrow, 1 p.m., going to go over and get 3 new tires on it. Then she will be ready to go, and I'll be ready to go shortly after that. But I wanted to get into a little bit of a rant. And it's not a rant that I'm upset about, but it's just something I'm a little irritated about. You know, there have been a number of people since I started at Prime that have always said, you know, well, first of all, let's talk about the business thing. You know, so people are saying if you really want to be a business owner, or, you know, you can't be a business owner if, you know, Prime or anybody has as much say as they do about our basically business. And one thing I want to say about this isn't a big dick swinging contest for me. When I came to Prime and signed my name on my first lease, I never for the life of me considered myself a true business person. The only reason I look at myself in any way when it comes to business is that I actually have an LLC. That's pretty much it. And that LLC is just how Prime basically runs their money through. I've never for the life of me thought of myself as this is my business, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with knowing where I'm at. Never had the desire to go out and do it on my own. So, you know, sometimes if you're in a situation that you think is good, and some people think that I'm in a bad position, some people think I'm in a good position, most people don't really know either way. I'm fine with my situation. If I wasn't fine, then I wouldn't be in this situation. That's the first thing. Second thing about this money, you know, people are telling me, you know, I could make more money elsewhere, or Prime is stealing from me, or whatever the thoughts would be. And my thoughts are this. I never thought that a truck driver could make this much money anyway. So the amount of money that I'm making at Prime as a truck driver is way more money I would have thought that any truck driver would be making. And then when I decided to train, the money that I was making as a trainer was way more money than I would have thought that any trainer would make. So I'm happy with the situation I'm in, whether it's me training, not training, you know, being at Prime, all that. And if it's about the money, the one thing I'm going to say is, and I've mentioned this before, if you are chasing money, you're never going to be able to run that fast. That's where you find people that are never happy with situations. You find the job hoppers, things like that. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm at the tail end of my working career. There's really no reason for me to be doing a bunch of jumping. And my relationship with money has always been that the money that I make on any job or any income is not where the wealth is being built. To me, the money that's coming in is basically a catalyst for me to make money outside of that. And most of the people that are saying that I'm not making as much money or enough money, whatever, I would venture to say that most of the people that are saying that aren't building as much wealth outside of what's coming in. So just want to say that. I've never, you know, when I first came to Prime, I was going to come to Prime as a company driver. The only reason I went lease is because I didn't feel like I had enough say in my time off. Now, had somebody even mention what a micro fleet was or driving for somebody, that's probably the route I would have went. And the amount of money I would have been making as a company driver, or driving under somebody's micro fleet, or me leasing myself, or having a fleet of my own, is more than enough to do what I need to do in building the wealth and security I'm trying to do out here. I could tell you a ton of people in this profession, or really when I was in the banking industry, a lot of people make a lot of money, and you go down that financial statement and you look at them, and a lot of these people are basically broke. So it's never been about the income as much as it is what I'm doing with that income. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there. Now, I happened to run into my last student yesterday. If you watched my last video, he was at the very end of that. Saw him again this morning for a brief, what's up? And it kind of almost made me want to train again. I'm kind of was thinking about it. I have a lot going on right now. Potentially, with tax season and stuff like that. But it really made me realize what I like about training. I mean, the money and all that, that's excellent. Even with, the new pay plan. I'm going to talk about that pay plan here in a little bit. But it's just seeing somebody and knowing that you had something to do with them reaching the goals that they that they had. And I wasn't the only trainer that was involved. This last trainee was basically moved onto my truck because his first trainer was gonna have to take some time off. So if Michaela happens to be watching this, Jawan is doing very well, and I'm glad that I've had a chance to see him be as successful as he is. So I wasn't sure if I was going to train or not, and I'm still not sure when I'm going to be able to do it. A lot of stuff going on, but seeing him really did make me feel like I wanted to pay it forward, and truly that it's not about the money. I mean, it is about the money, but it's not about the money. I mean, there obviously has to be something there to offset some of the inconveniences that you have as a trainer, and depreciation of trucks, and we can go into all that kind of stuff. But it wouldn't be for the money. I'm still not sure I'm going to do it, but in seeing him again, it really made me feel like I wanted to be part of somebody else's changing people's trajectory in life. Excuse me. Damn, I forgot what I said I was going to have to circle back around on. Oh, one of the things, we were talking about this pay plan, the new pay plan for trainees and stuff like that. In itself, and I hate to keep beating this dead horse, but in itself, that is what it is. But I think what it might trigger is a trickle-down effect for those people that are already drivers at Prime, that are already on team trucks. Let's say it's a company team. That pay is getting pretty close to what a company team with experience is making. So I think, that might rub people a little bit the wrong way there. And then, something else to kind of look at is, and these are just thoughts that's going on in my head, is, and I could do this in a heartbeat, and I won't do this. It's kind of a situation that I did when the first person that came on my truck was somebody that had already got their own truck with Prime, didn't necessarily feel comfortable on their own, but there's a market for people that get out of training that aren't necessarily ready to go out on their own, that wouldn't mind driving with somebody to kind of tighten things up. And there's kind of the offset. You could probably do that, have a little bit less responsibility, and be paying out about the same, maybe a little bit more, but you're not dealing with as much stuff. So I think that's just kind of what's going on in my head. But I keep mentioning in these videos that I am happy with Prime. I'm probably almost 100% going to end my entire working career. I mean, if you want to call it the actual working part, I'm going to probably always do something to bring in money, but this will probably be where I hang it up as far as a traditional job before I ride my ass off into some sort of a retirement. And for me to keep saying that, and for people to keep it's almost like I feel like I'm getting clowned, you know, for being here. And it just rubs me a little bit the wrong way sometimes. But, you know, enough about that. I do want to say what's up to everybody that I've met out here at the terminal. It's good seeing people that, you know, that recognize me and, you know, appreciate the little bit that I do bring. I do know that there's not always going to be people that like me, because I may not always have the most popular opinion, and that could be with drivers at Prime or people that are in-house at Prime. But one thing I will always do is I will always keep it real. And the one thing that is always said about, you know, said by people at Prime is we're all about transparency, and I'm trying to be about as transparent as it is out here, and that will be the good and the bad. And the good definitely outweighs the bad. So I don't get the push for people to tell me that I could be doing something else. Where, I mean, I could always go back, maybe not now with the industry the way it is now, but do you realize if I went back to the industry I was in and worked the same amount of hours here, I mean, the money I'm making here, even training wouldn't even, you know, compete with that money. If I put in those kind of hours, I mean, it wouldn't even be close. So, I mean, there's always more money to be made elsewhere. And like I tell you, if you're always, you know what? If you're always chasing money, it's always the same people that are chasing women. They got a perfectly fine woman, and then they're always out chasing for some other stuff. And it's kind of the same thing. It's almost the same people that are always chasing money, that are always chasing other things in their life. And that could be relationships, marriages, stuff like that as well. I've learned to be content in my life, and a lot of that has to do with the aging process and things like that. It's one of the only good things about getting old is you do become content with things. And that doesn't mean that you're not always trying to look for something better, or that if there's a better opportunity, but it allows you to identify the good things and stay there. Enough rambling. I appreciate you guys stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. As always, comment, subscribe. I'm out.